Albuquerque has presented this environment where like all the different kinds of styles and influences can all kind of converge and create new art forms or like new ways of thinking that I wasn't really exposed to early on. While there's all this contrast of like the city and the landscape mixed with, you know, the surrounding natural beauty, it kind of creates this environment where magic can kind of be abundant. And I've tried to like bring that into my own core values and philosophy of just like the desert is a place for a certain amount of meditation and like ideas to come through and almost like a realm for experimentation to be possible. I don't know, it's been ultimately really inspiring, and just being here for a longer period of time has kind of opened my mind up to so many different like local artists, ideas, and like ways of, you know, communing with both the city and the landscape, but also with the art forms that are present here. So I guess earliest that I can remember back, like I've been drawing since I was like 5 years old, but the initial urge that made me want to do that in the first place was really animated films or cartoons of any style. Another side to it that kind of draws on that mystical aspect and like the magic of it. When I was young, me and my family were Buddhists of like a very strict and like specific Japanese sect of Buddhism. And in having to like navigate out of those religious pathways and find my spirituality more in an artistic sense, it's kind of made its way through there in the form of like magic. I'm putting myself on my knees at the altar of my own creation, and that in a sense is like more of a true mirror to myself than even what I am capable of telling myself of like who I am, or like what are you supposed to be doing, or what are your values. Like if I don't know that on any given day, maybe my art can show me that. Kind of putting together a full suit of armor that's kind of like, I'm calling it spirit armor, and I kind of have liked to wear it for art walk and for vending experiences, mostly because I find that I'm a very like sensitive person to the not only like energies and stuff like that, not to be too woo-woo, but like how certain interactions feel when you're like face-to-face with people talking about art. You never are gonna get the same interaction or the same kind of reaction that you might always want, and it almost helps to kind of like have a mask up. But I think the more that I've worn it, it almost feels sometimes like this is a truer version of my face and how I feel like I look on the inside presented outwardly. So it's kind of like an extra layer of skin that I get to kind of show like, this is really the creature that's making this stuff. I'm from Taos, New Mexico, so born and raised up there. I moved here when I was probably like 10 or 11, and I moved back and forth between here and Taos a couple times, but I've found that like Albuquerque has become like my real home. When they started Art Walk back up after COVID, I got word that you could just set up on the sidewalk over here, and I've kind of been in this same spot on 4th Street for like 6 years, just kind of pedaling. It just created this environment where there's tons of people walking through. They're all on their way to the bars or on their way to the other art events that are happening, and people have some money in their pocket, and Joel and the Mothership have already had this community built around here where people know to come here for Art Walk. Through the whole vending and art walk experience, it's kind of like the goal at first was like selling, but as time goes on, like sure, I like to make some money off my art, but I think that the real goal has become like, how many people in my Albuquerque community can I like impact in some way or interact with on some level, to the point where like they have my art in their house, and if they come back out again, it's like we get to have a little communion. While we would never interact normally, we now have a space to do that.